Okay, so we've got our loops, our noseband, and we've got the two pieces out the bottom. The one furthest away from you is the long end, and the one closest to you is the short end. So what we want to do for a full-size halter, we're going to go, it's about 6 inches, 6 inches along here. Make sure that it's upright, so the noseband is sort of coming up and you're looking down into the halter. And you're going to tie your granny knot down in there. Bring that all the way through. Roughly measure out your 6 inches. And make it, you can shuffle it along with the blood knot once it's finished. Good. Now we take the short piece and we follow that along from the feeder knot up into the granny knot. Pull it straight. So this is the first blood knot that you're going to make final, tying your halter. Now if you have a look here, be really careful when that rope goes in. You want to try and get it all evened up so that it's not super twisted. So straighten up the rope coming into that knot. Hold it nice and firm over the top of the love heart. Take the end between, over the top of the one closest to you, underneath the X. Hold it all in place. Pull it right through. Hold it there. Now the key is when you get to here, you can pull it and you can pull the knot crooked. And then you can get a little bit confused about what goes on. So you want to hold the knot and keep it loose so you can still see the X, and then gently snug it down. Now if you've got a crookedness issue like this and one is longer than the other, check which one. So I need to actually lengthen this one, not shorten that one. So the blood knot works diagonally in pairs. So this one here is this one. If I push this one back a little bit, I can snug that out lengthwise. And then I can just snug it from this side and snug it from that side to try and get it balanced out. 6 inches, pretty happy with that. It's nice and balanced coming out of the feed or not. So I'm going to tighten it down with my pliers. And usually I would go back and tighten it more on both sides, but I'm just going to skip that bit for the video. Okay, so now we've got a noseband, we've got the chin piece, and now the long and the short piece should be switched over. So the short piece should be furthest away from you. So that's going to go up and tie the outside of the halter, and the long piece is going to come up here, tie our loops, go across to the noseband. You can see all that. Go around the noseband, across there, tie onto that one, and then go up to form our loop that goes over the head. Sizing wise, this next piece we're going up to the loops. So we want to, for a full size halter, we're going to make this 10 inches. So you're going to use the long piece closest to you, measure that out roughly 10 inches. Now this is also another balance area and you'll have to play around with it. It's a little bit hard to explain over video, but I like to put a little twist here, tie my granny knot, but this time we're not actually going to pull the granny knot all the way through. We're just going to make the loop here that it comes over the back of the horse's head and ties onto. And then we're going to continue this granny knot with the other end of this long piece. It's this piece here that needs to be 10 inches long. So from that knot down there up into there, but again we can adjust it once we tie the knot. The reason why I put the twist there is because I then need it to sort of twist back around and come across to the noseband, and I don't want to leave a twist here. You'll just have to have a play around with that for yourselves and see how it feels. So we've got the granny knot, which we didn't pull all the way through like we did with all the others. Okay, we're leaving this loop. This loop only needs to be about 2 inches long. No smaller than that because they're a bit of a pain when they're small. Now, once you've got that loop this way, we turn it over. Now you've got your love heart and you've got this other spare piece that you're going to finish the blood knot with. So you lay it up over the love heart There's your X, and this time the X where we're going to put it through is through that little loop. So bring that through, over, under, hold the loop, hold the X, gently bring it all through. Be careful to pull the twists out of it as it comes down into the blood knot. Try to hold it nice and steady, snug it up from both ends. That looks pretty good. Check it for length. Yeah, perfect. So now I'm going to snug that down. And I would go to a little bit more effort to snug all these knots down nice and tight. You can do it at the end too, but it then will possibly affect your sizing. So I do like to snug most of the knots down as I go. Alright, so now we've got a noseband. I know it's a little bit hard to see because I can't quite get far enough away. And we've got now the loop on the side of the horse's face. And depending on how you twisted that when you tied the knot, should give you a nice balance to come out from down here up to here. And then we're going to take this across to the noseband. Same measurement, 10 inches from here to the nose. So roughly there. Going to have the near side nose knot is the one that we're going into first. We're taking this long piece. It'll start to look and resemble a bit of a halter now. You should be able to see it. See how it's going along. So, just fix that one for you. So, the noseband knot. Now, we're back to our two granny knots. Granny knot number 1. You're going to follow with that long piece up here, up underneath your granny knot, into the love heart. And it's this section here that you're going to measure at about 10 inches. Hold on to it. Again, check that it's not twisted coming out from here. We don't want to have that twisted over there, see, and causing a problem. So just check the twist in it where you tie it off into the granny knot here. Love heart, again, over the top of the love heart, creates an X. Split these two off, bring it all the way up, through there, underneath the X, hold the knot, take the twists out, snug it in there gently, snug it from that side, snug it from this side. Just get the knot closed off and then we can adjust it. So I can see now that's a little short. It's only 8 inches. But this part here, again, the diagonal pair, tells you how long this one is. So I can, if I need more length here, I can just push a little bit through the blood knot, similar to how we did with the loops and the feed or knot, and feed it back out here until I get the distance that I want. So it's only 9.5. Go a little bit more, snug that out there. Yeah, 10 inches. Sweet. I also like to check at this point that my nose knots are still a little bit even, and that in tying that first blood knot I haven't pushed it out of the way. Snug it down. Good. Now we have a bit of a noseband to go over. Keep following the noseband all the way over. This time you want to come in underneath the back of the granny knot. You don't have to measure because the noseband will tell you how long that needs to be. You just need to even it up. And again, just make the blood knot and then we'll address it. Just check that the rope is not twisted across the nose. Up over the love heart, make the X, separate the two, up and through, over the top of that first one. Oh, it's got to go over this one, underneath the X. Hold the X, feed it through. Snug it down. Now you can turn it over and you'll see I've got one part of the noseband is shorter than the other. But they're even, so I want to lengthen the short piece, which is this loose one. So I can just feed a little bit of that back out, gather it up, balance them up, fiddle around with this blood knot, snug it down a little bit more, check the balance. There we go. Now I've got my nose bands the same length. The knots are even. Nothing worse than having the knots on one side of your horse's head higher than the other. So now what we're going to do is travel along here, finish off the opposite side. So now we're going to switch over and use the short piece, and we're just going to make that the same distance as here. Tie granny. Come up now with the other piece that is also quite short, up through the bottom. Balance these two out. These two knots here need to be the same distance at the back, about there. There's our love heart, up over the middle of the love heart, find the X, up around, over, through, snug it down. Okay, we're going to come back in a minute and finish it all off.